by just trying to put on the end of the Phillies game here. He's faded down here. What's up, everybody? A new night. So you know when your favorite TV show, and I guess I can't tell you the last time this happened, but it used to be where you would have a TV show and they would move nights. Normally that's not a great thing for a TV show unless they're moving you to a good night. Normally they move you, it's because your ratings aren't doing well. I don't know if they do that anymore. But anyway, new time, new night, Wednesday nights. Monday, and as my wife is texting me, can't ever get a break. Yeah, so whatever. And she can't ever get a break either. These kids are driving me freaking crazy. Driving us both crazy. So with doing the Monday through Friday, and I'm getting up before 5 o'clock in the morning, and you know, I'm pretty much going to bed at like 9, 10, well, not 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock every night. And I've been up for the primetime games. So, and I have cheer and softball practice Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So Wednesday just feels like an easier day to do it. Delco Steve agrees. So we're going to do it live. We're not going to write it. We're going to do it live. Fuck it. On Wednesday nights at 9 o'clock, as Delco Steve is watching the end of the Phillies game here, and I cannot seem to find it because I'm on the basement. I'm on the basement TV, and it doesn't have the same remote, so it's not as easy to navigate.
Garcia just threw out. I don't know who it was. Just trying to steal second for the second out at the top of the ninth. So, 1 out away, one strike away actually.
Phil's 1 strike away, but then I won't even put it on, so I don't need it then. 1 strike away from a sweep here, Delco Steve. It wasn't that long ago that we were worried about the Phillies.
Yeah, they're heating up at the right time. All we had to do was be a little patient. Remember, I said that. I'm pretty sure, and then I panicked. I don't remember.
No, it's believe me. I don't ever look at fans, in particular baseball fans. It's such a long season. They're going to hit stretches where they look like they suck, and it's hard not to start freaking out a little bit, right? And the Phillies have had so many injuries in there. Injured again tonight. Of course, Kyle Schwarber didn't play after he hurt his elbow trying to get back to first base on a pickoff play, and it's a final. Phillies winning 3-2.
Why is that guy trying to steal or like make it look like he's going to steal?
Yeah, I don't think I mean, sometimes the pitcher is just trying to buy time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now, especially because of the clock, that's like, well, let me just throw to first base. So he did. I know Thompson. Well, why can't I find any information there? I just knew that he wasn't playing tonight. I saw that earlier, but I didn't really see an update on it. He's feeling better, just a precaution. He'll be back Friday. Yeah, it's exactly. You don't have to put him out there. Day off tomorrow, back for Friday. You get the Mets in town. So
yeah, you got 7 games left with the Mets, and they're 6 games back?
No, they're 8. It depends what they do tonight, but the Phillies going on this little streak right here.
7.5, yeah. All
right, so they'll be at 8 still. I guess they won tonight. Yeah, so the Braves and the Mets are kind of duking it out. It does. You do have to be. Braves lost. Well, yeah, like the Braves are cooked. Even if they slide into the playoffs, they're not winning anything.
So many injuries. They have so many injuries to so many marquee players.
Yeah, it's not even fair. Yeah, so all right.
If it was any other team, I feel bad for them, but I don't feel bad for the Braves.
Not at all. Yeah, yep. Braves are 8.5 out. Mets are 8 out. Phil's now 88-58, and they have a game and a half up on the Dodgers. So regardless of what they do from here on out, and if they suck, we're gonna freak out. If they're good, like with me, I'm the worst kind of. I'm not the worst kind of Phillies fan, but the Phillies kill me. And it's not like for what like even in the NFL, like the NFL's king, the Eagles are king, whatever. When the Phillies are good and they're a playoff team, the anxiety takes over so bad. Like I can't stop thinking about Oh, well, like, yeah, look at the lead that they have, and you're going to have the Mets fighting for a playoff berth and for playoff positioning and everything else. The last thing you want is to get the team that's been literally playing playoff games for 2 or 3 weeks before even the
Shit, 2 or 3 months at this rate.
Right.
Yeah, they started off so slow.
We were laughing at them, Delco Steve.
Yep.
We were making fun of them. And now look at them, and they're scrappy, and they win close games. They have good pitching, just enough.
And if Shohei Ohtani wasn't going to be, going for 50 and 50, you got Lindor probably winning MVP.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Lindor's bounced back big time. Big time. I'm trying to pull up Arizona's record last year. Arizona Diamondbacks Pro Baseball. Because it was like early September. I think they were under 500.
The Diamondbacks finished 84 and 78 last year.
Right. So where were
16 games back?
Right. Where were they? Let me see if I can get where they were on this date last year. They're another feisty team. They're good. I thought that they would shit the bed this year, and they didn't. Early in the season they weren't very good, but I don't even know if it'll have the record. All right. So last year, we'll just say September 11th, the Diamondbacks were. Oh, this is this season. I don't want this season. God damn it. I want last season. The Diamondbacks were on September 11th, 2023. No, so they were 7 games over 500. All right. So they actually, so they had already made their run, but they were 2 games over 500 on August 19th. And then they made a little bit of a run. End of August, they were 4 games over 500. So they got hot at the end of the season. And you felt it. You did. Going into the playoffs, it's like Arizona's a hot team. You're like,
the Phillies 2 years ago.
It's Phillies 2 years ago, yeah. Yep.
Same idea.
Yep. So, so I do. I have a puke bucket here, and here it is, right here. I have thrown up before during Phillies baseball in the playoffs. I said this earlier today. The Matt Stairs home run way back in 2008. I was driving around the back of the block in my car because I literally couldn't take the anxiety of watching it on TV. So I was driving around listening on the radio.
I will say, not that baseball is my number one sport by any means to watch, but playoff baseball, like the anxiety of playoff baseball is insane. When you get like a Wheeler, like ace matchup and it's 1-0, 2-1, something like that, like those games are unbearable.
Excruciating. And then the bullpen, and last year, the Phillies against the Diamondbacks, the bullpen couldn't keep anything. And the starters in the playoffs, they're not going 8 innings. So you're just trying to get 6 out of them. And then Alvarado's coming in with guys on base, and you're like, oh, Jesus Christ. Last year, they went to Kerkering in that big spot. He came up small. You have freaking Kimbrel trying to close out games in Arizona, totally blowing it. That kills me. Still kills me to this day.
Brutal.
Oh, man. Brutal.
All I had to do was win one of them games. One, and it's completely different.
Dude, I was in Arizona at the game, sitting next to John Brazier of the Phillies, and we were making plans what we were going to do because the team hotel was in Scottsdale. The year before, after a game, we were in Houston, and we went to the team hotel, and it was an amazing experience. And we were going to go out in Scottsdale, and then they blow the lead, and Kimbrel blows it, and Thompson put him back in. I'm like, you're really putting him in there? Anyway, hopefully we don't have to deal with that this year. So Philly's rolling right now. They get a sweep of the Rays. The Mets are in town. Just the fact you swept the Rays, if you lose 2 or 3 to the Mets, it's not the biggest deal in the world.
Oh, I forgot. I'll be in the yard on Saturday for the game.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Is this a Delco dude game or is this a girlfriend game?
Girlfriend's going, but it's my gym crew put something together.
Oh yeah.
So I think there's like
bunch of meatheads.
Nah.
And chicks too, right?
It's actually mostly chicks.
Yeah.
It's probably like 60-40 chicks.
So what's the name of the gym you go to?
Sonic Boom Fitness in Springfield.
So it's not a typical you go in and you're just lifting the weights and you're going home. This is you're throwing tires
it's like a CrossFit gym more than anything, just not affiliated with like actual CrossFit.
See, that's what I need.
It's fun.
Yeah, have you ever done Orange Theory?
No, but I've heard a lot about it, and something I think I would like to do with the score just for
Yeah.
competition's sake.
Yeah, I know a bunch of people that have done it and they like it. But for a while I was going to the Y and I was doing the body pump class.
Yeah, you and all the 70-year-old ladies.
The old ladies, yes. I miss it. Yeah, I miss it. I'm sure they miss me too. But it was good. And it's not like for me, the hardest thing is just like doing boring, you know what I mean? Like, oh, it's I gotta do chest today.
Yeah.
I love
this shit.
Yeah, I love doing I love doing the classes. I don't like I like burning calories and elevating my heart and everything else. I don't just like, all right, let me sit there. Like Schwarzenegger used to smoke pot and lift weights. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't a lot of high intensity interval training with him. Very effective though, Arnold.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Anyway. But no, it's always a good time. Like our Tuesdays and Thursdays are usually like the not like cardio, but like so Thursday's like a team day. So you do like it could be like a million different things smashed in one. It's like, all right, now get it done as fast as you can. Like those are those kind of days. And then like Monday, Wednesday, Friday are kind of more like,
oh, you look like you kill yourself.
Oh,
some of the pictures that you're posting, you're doing like you show the thing of what you guys are like the menu of things that you're going to do, the reps and everything. I'm like,
yeah,
Jesus Christ, I don't want to do any of that. But you got to build yourself up to it.
I've been waddling around since Monday, from leg day. It's been brutal.
Oh man, hate when that happens. Well, that's the other thing. I like unless I'm doing it in a class, I'm not going to the gym and doing 30 minutes of squats and other legs. I know our buddy Vince out there loves to do squats all the time. I have no interest in doing that, but like I like working my core. I like working the legs if I'm doing classes and things like that.
No, I'm with you on that.
All right.
I used to be totally team skip leg day.
Yeah, like a lot of people. Yeah, it's like, oh wow, man, like you get what's the famous Saturday Night Live skit with Joe Piscopo where he's got the big upper body and he's got the skinny
toothpick legs.
Yep. All right, so somebody asked a question right here before we talk about the Eagles. Do I do my morning show remotely? Well, you should tune in if you haven't seen it. It's definitely not. No, it's definitely not remotely.
You couldn't tell what the piano was missing.
Yeah, exactly. No, it is. The morning show is not remotely. It is in the studio down in the city, which, like I said, I leave. I get out of the house. If I don't leave by 10 after 5, then I'm running late. If I leave the house at 6 o'clock, it takes me 55 minutes to get down there. If I leave at 10 after 5, it takes me 36 minutes to get down there. And then I get down there by 6 o'clock at the latest, and I have a full hour to prepare before anybody's in the building. And then from there, boom. So I know I'm only doing an hour of stuff, but it's also different. And we're playing videos and stuff on there, so it's a totally different animal than anything I've ever done before. So it's fun. It's been good so far. Once we get our set, because right now they still have me on where they have 2 chairs. It's where all the other shows like the Phillies do their show there, and I think Devon and the Sixers and Kyle, they do the show on that as well. I don't like it. I want a desk. I hate that because I have like my laptop on my lap. It just looks stupid.
Right.
I want a desk. I don't like the way that it looks. So believe me, we're and they said that's fine. It's just a matter of getting it done. So there you go.
All the time.
Yeah, and then Delco Steve. I know that I already have it on my mind. Kind of, I'm like, all right, well, how can I get people in that? Because I need to have fun on the show. It just can't be like straight sports and
just talking to the camera for an hour.
Yeah. So I gotta, so I'm figuring out a way. I have some ideas to where I can get some people with some personality in there with me for a couple days a week. So we'll see. So what about the Birds? We haven't been on the air since the Birds beat the Packers. Delco Steve, what's your thoughts?
Worry level like 6.
Worry level?
Yeah.
What are you worried about?
I need to know Jalen actually doesn't suck.
Yeah. All right. That's fair.
I'll say the field was probably a good excuse for these guys. Like, I know they put up points and Saquon ended up playing great once he changed his cleats and all that, but he had 2 good throws and they just happened to score touchdowns on them the whole game. I'm not even gonna. The field was shit.
We know that. It was
Yeah.
crap. It was crap for both teams. I don't like. I think what you're saying is a bit of an overreaction because I actually think that outside of those throws, and the throw that bothered me more than the one to AJ, because AJ was actually wide open and he slipped. It's still a bad throw. The play before, where almost went pick six.
Yeah,
you can't do that. I don't know. Like, you have to know the situation. It's like a base runner in baseball. If there's 2 outs and you're on first, you don't try to make it to third base unless you know 1,000% you're going to be safe. You don't go first to third, because getting thrown out at third for the third out's the dumbest thing you could do in baseball, right?
Yep.
So making that throw, and I know you want to go up 2 scores and put the game away, but making that throw, you would have lost the lead on a pick six, but then coming right back on 3rd and 13, where you're rolling to the sideline. I know AJ got open, and I understand that's why he threw it. You got to put a little bit of mustard or something on that. I mean, he kind of just lofted it up there. I know AJ slipped, so I think it's a bit of an overreaction, because I do think he played pretty well outside of that. But overall, it is kind of disconcerting that he's still making dumb mental mistakes.
Well, the first interception was
terrible.
Devontae Smith in quadruple coverage, maybe 5 guys there in the box, like around him.
So I talked to Fran Duffy, who's our Eagles analyst and our draft analyst on PHLY. He goes back and looks at all the film. So he said on that play that Landon Dickerson actually got pushed back, which normally you wouldn't think, and probably affected the throw. What I would say to that is
the ball anywhere.
He was throwing into triple coverage on that play, whether or not there was bad protection, which that's fine. No.
Yeah, but okay, fine. If that's the reason the throw is bad, fine. But the decision making is still terrible decision making, especially if someone's in your lap and you can't step into the ball.
All right, so here's what I'll say. That Jalen, I thought he made some really good throws and he had a good game. He also has 3 all-pro type players out there. Certainly Saquon and AJ, and Devontae might be on that next level down a little bit, but he's certainly like a Pro Bowl player. You have an excellent offensive line, above average offensive line at the very least. You have are they the best skill guys in football?
If they're in the top 3, regardless.
You can say 49ers, and we can argue about that, but that's the kind of skill level that you're talking about. And the Dolphins, right? You have Dolphins that you have a better running back. And I actually like the compliment of running backs. They just can't stay healthy down there. I'm a big Mostert fan.
Mostert's aged very well for himself.
I love him. He's always been a good player. He just can never stay healthy.
Yep.
But bottom line is that you have an amazing supporting cast here. Like a lot of quarterbacks might have been able to throw for a lot of yards in that game. Not named Jalen Hurts.
We say this about the skill position of us compared to those 2 teams. Our offensive line is light years better than both of their offensive lines, including the 49ers with Trent Williams.
Certainly Miami. But yeah, you're right. Yeah.
They were talking about the Monday night broadcast. They were talking about the whole time, like how the 49ers are they're not paying anyone on that offensive line except for Trent Williams because they think they can do this zone blocking scheme better than anybody.
49ers are like, I'll give them credit, but they're also weird, right? Because they had the whole contract thing with Trent Williams. They had the whole contract thing with Ayuk. Both of them end up getting the money. But it seemed like it seems like John Lynch knew what he played it out well, especially with Ayuk. Because Ayuk could have went to New England and gotten more money, but he didn't want to go to New England.
Yep.
He could have went to Cleveland. He didn't want to go to Cleveland. So the big paychecks that were there, he didn't want to go.
Yeah,
so the Niners were like,
too last second.
And the Niners are like, all right, listen, we want you here. Here's our best offer. And it's a lot of money. And he said, you know what? I'm going to take it.
They were going to trade him to the Steelers if he didn't take the deal.
They were, and they would have been fine with it. They would have been fine with it. The 49ers are a really good organization. And they looked really good without Christian McCaffrey against the Jets. But yeah, like I think it's when I watch Jalen Hurts play and I say that, he made some really nice throws. Like, did he just make throws that most NFL quarterbacks can make? The Saquon Barkley touchdown, the first touchdown, it was a good throw. It was. He dropped it in
100% a
there.
good throw.
Yeah, he dropped it in there perfectly. I mean, how many quarterbacks in the NFL can make that throw? How many starting quarterbacks in the NFL can make that throw? Most of them. Half of them.
I would. Well, no,
I would.
No, it'd be like closer to like 10.
Oh, stop it! It wasn't that complicated of a throw.
No, I'm saying consistently make it. Like, are you like?
But Anthony doesn't. But
Anthony Richardson can hit that throw once every 10.
Agreed. No, agreed. I'm not. Listen, I'm not trying to shit on Jalen by saying this, but it also feels like that we baby him a little bit when we.
I'm saying that was his only good throw of the game.
Play.
That's like I'm saying that's like one of like only good throws of the game. That's so I can't say I'm babying him, but I'm trying to give him credit for the one thing I actually thought he did well in that game.
Yeah, it was a good throw. All I'm saying is that, like, all right, if he didn't have this amazing talent around him, what are we talking about here? Because him being elusive and making big time plays with his legs is over. You agree? Yeah. He's still good. He's still going to make plays with his legs, but he's not the same player that he was running the football.
2 years ago, no, he's not the same player.
He looks slower.
Yeah, he does. I ever since the knee injury last year, he hasn't looked the same like with the ball in his hands.
Someone says right here, put Hurts on the Giants. I think Hurts could actually Hurts can go to a team, and Giants would be better with Jalen Hurts than with Daniel Jones or anybody else.
Oh, agreed.
Out there. Hurts is still a good player, but like, all right, like, you can't win in the NFL without a great team. You have a great quarterback and everything else. Eagles have a very, very good offense.
You flip Daniel Jones with Jalen Hurts. What are the records of the teams? If Daniel Jones is the Eagles quarterback,
not that different.
You think we're still a 10-win team with Daniel Jones?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I do. Because he would get better coaching. He'd have better protection.
100%.
Right? He has the Giants offensive line shit year after year. Look at the skill guys on that team. And listen, I like the rookie. Neighbors, he's going to be a great player.
He's going to be a stud.
Right. But other than that, what do they have? And Daniel Jones stinks. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't want him as my quarterback. But you can easily win 10 games with Daniel Jones on this team.
Yeah, I think with all the other pieces around it, yeah, I agree.
Yep. And Michael Richmond says Brock Purdy's a game manager. I don't know how you call him a game manager, man. I don't. If he was a top 5 pick, no one would be calling him a game manager. He is a stud that puts up big numbers. I totally disagree.
He annoys the hell out of me.
Purdy?
because he looks like he should be a game manager. And then I sit there and watch that game against the Jets, and I'm like, all right, there's a guy in his lap every freaking play, and he still finds the wide open dude downfield.
He's really crafty. And Michael Richmond put it in there. He goes through the process, and he goes through his But he's accurate.
And I will say that offense schemes dudes wide open. It's the same thing with the Dolphins. It's like, you think it's just Tyreek Hill getting open? No, it's the Juwan Jennings of the world that are 15, 18 yards downfield that are just like, hey, hit me. And it's like, if he's like Richard's saying, he's like, if he's following his projections right, or, his progressions right, oh, there he is, wide open, hit him. Like, he does a great job of just seeing, like, having the offense come to him, and he just hits what comes to him.
He runs the offense, man. He sees the field well. He doesn't panic under pressure. Hey, he was like that as a rookie, as a young player. How he handles himself, I think he's a great player. I'm trying to pull up that box score. If you look at his numbers last year, he was the front runner. Not a front
Monday
runner,
night's game.
It was a Monday night game, so it's probably all the way down here. Here it is. Well, I wanted to see because that game wasn't competitive at all. Aaron Rodgers they took him out of the game in the fourth quarter, for crying out loud. It was 32-12. No, but Purdy's season last year. And by the way, all right, like you could say the same thing of San Francisco that we're saying about the Eagles. It's an amazing offense. If you put Jalen on the 49ers, are they as good? If you put Brock Purdy on the Eagles, are they as good? The Eagles offense last year was pathetic. If you would have had Brock Purdy on the Eagles last year, I think you would have had the same type of end of the season. If you put Jalen on the 49ers, would you have the same team?
God, I just love the idea of Kyle Shanahan's offense with an actual mobile quarterback.
But it's also it's a different, like is he going through the progressions? Is he seeing the field as well? Because remember what happened last year? They started blitzing him and he couldn't see the field at all. But I mean, the 49ers would be successful with Jalen Hurts is a really good quarterback. Don't get me wrong. Like people, you're hating on Hurts or whatever. No, I'm not. But I'm also like answering what Steve said. He's 6 out of 10 worried about Jalen Hurts, and I think that's okay. I do. I think it's an overreaction. I'm not worried about it, but I can see why you'd be like, all right, because we're talking about winning the Super Bowl. We're not talking about winning 10 games.
Yeah, I could care less about another wild card playoff victory at this point.
I do not care about that.
No. It's NFC championships and Super Bowl titles. Or getting the NFC championship games and getting the Super Bowl. That's the end goal. If you end up short of that, who cares?
Even with a great team, with great offensive talent, Purdy last year, 4,280 yards, 31 touchdowns, 11 picks, 69.4% completion percentage. He's a good player.
It'll be interesting to see what happens when they pay him next year and they actually have to start losing some of the top end talent that they have.
Yep.
Did you see that? Did you watch Monday Night Football?
I did.
They just the one graphic they had with all the top position players or the salary for their positions. It's like Trent Williams 1, McCaffrey 1, Bosa 2, Fred Warner 2. Just list goes on and on and on. Then you got Purdy making $1 million.
That sure helps, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, look at
lowest week 1 salary for a starting quarterback this season.
Yeah, it helps. He's not gonna be making that much money for long, but it's difficult. Look at the Eagles, right? Dickerson's one of the highest paid guards. Lane Johnson's one of the highest paid tackles. AJ Brown's one of the highest. Mailata makes a lot of money. AJ makes a lot of money. Devontae's going to make a lot of money. But right now they don't really have big money players on the defensive side of the ball, though. Right?
Barely any.
Slay probably.
Huff is Slay making more than
17? No, you're right. It's Huff. I can already tell you he's going to stink.
He played 45% of snaps or something like that?
Well, he just didn't have any production.
Yeah.
I'm okay. I mean, he's been more or less a part-time player or exclusively as a pass rusher.
Yeah, but $17 million for a part-time player.
No, I didn't. I was very skeptical of it when it happened, and I even said this, that Howie was really, really betting. Like he's essentially betting on Huff.
He's still a young guy. Like he's young for free agency too.
Oh yeah, for sure. Why would the Jets get rid of him then? I mean that
because he didn't realize he wasn't worth $17 million.
Andrew Bagley says, "You worry about the lack of pass rush." Of course I do. Yeah, no, that's what's going to cook the Eagles. If the ends can't get pressure, then Fangio's going to have to blitz, which you don't necessarily want to do, especially when your secondary may not be very good. Although Mitchell looked good in his
Quinyon. I like the swagger. Like I feel like he had like the swagger without crossing the line, where it's like, "All right, you arrogant prick."
He has enough arrogance to be a top corner, but not to where you're like, "Yeah, see, I don't like the way that you act." No, he's good, man. He is.
He's towing the line like perfectly.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Hassan Reddick, I don't know what he's doing. I saw John Barchard, who used to be my colleague at WIP, and he was like ripping the Jets and taking Reddick back, and I kind of just stopped looking at it because I'm like, what are you even talking about? But what does Reddick what does he think is going to happen? He can't just sit out the year and then become a free agent. He's forfeiting a lot of money. He's already been fined
$380,000 a game or something like that.
More than that? Is that what it is?
I don't think so. Let's see.
Hassan Reddick, but maybe it is that. Well, he's got $5 million in fines already, and that's something that he actually does.
Right.
Do it. All right. So that's scripting training camp. He was hit with fines total $2 million. All right. So it's $2 million. So he's got to pay $2 million in fines regardless. So now he's just not getting game checks. So he doesn't have to pay any money out of his pocket. $800,000 for each regular season game that he misses.
800,000?
$800,000.
Oh.
So I understand all these other sports, basketball, baseball, they get guaranteed contracts, and it doesn't matter what happens. They can be like Tobias Harris, these guys, and they just suck, and they're making $40 million a year, whatever, right? Hassan Reddick has a shorter career. He's been super duper productive. He's going into the final year of a contract. No NFL player wants to go into a final year of a contract with no guaranteed money and no years after that left. Nobody. And he didn't want to. But you know what, Hassan? The market around the NFL, teams weren't interested in trading for you and giving you $30 million a year, or you would have that contract and be on that team right now. What he should have done is stay in Philadelphia and say, you know what? I'm going to make the best out of this situation. I'm going to get 13, 14 sacks this year, and I'm going to be a free agent next year, and I'm going to get a contract. I'm going to get a big contract next year. You're not making $30 million a year, dude. Like, someone needs to advise him better on this. So instead, he's missing out on game checks, $800,000 each, and he's already been fined $2 million. What's his move? There's no leverage.
The only thing I can think of is it's like the Emmitt Smith move. It's like, all right, you guys suck for 2 games, and now it's like, oh, we need to pay. They did not get a single. They apparently they sacked Purdy twice in that game. I remember seeing that stat pop up.
Yeah.
I'm like, when did they touch him? Because they didn't sniff Purdy the whole game, that defensive line. So maybe the idea is like, oh, they don't generate a pass rush against the Niners, and I believe they play the Titans this week. And it's like, oh, maybe they don't generate a pass rush against the Titans. It's like, oh, we need him. But I don't know. It doesn't seem like a good strategy.
Does he have to report for? Isn't there like a date where if you report by that date, then it counts for the NFL season, and then you get credit for the year? So
yeah, you get the accrued. You get the accrued year. I think it's week 8.
So is that what he's going to do? So then he can become a free agent. But at that point, he's going to forfeit like $6 million.
Yeah, because wasn't it Chris Jones going to show up like week 9 last year? Like that was his plan. He was like, oh, like I'll sit out the first 8 games and then I'll come back week 9.
Yeah, like the Jets aren't caving into Hassan Reddick at this point. I think that's pretty clear.
It's like I think Hassan's a good player, but what has he done in this league to warrant this kind of like thought process? Yes, you've had double-digit sacks the last 4 years, but you also did that on 3 different teams and you got booted around the teams. So it's like teams are going to look at that as well. Like, why are you that player?
Part of it. It is. It's part of it. Teams don't look at him as a Myles Garrett or even like he's probably in that at the bottom of the second tier of pass rushers. He's a really good player, but like you said, he's bouncing around for a reason. And Hassan's a good enough dude. I've met him on a couple of occasions. He was doing the Players Lounge on WIP after I was on with Brandon, but it made me think of BG. You know, Brandon Graham won the Super Bowl. He was playing on an ankle. He needed surgery for it after the season. And he was going into a final season of a contract in 2018. That's after a Super Bowl where he was playing on a bum ankle. He made the play of the Super Bowl in securing the win or getting the win. And he wasn't, they didn't give him a new contract. He was going into the final year of a deal. So you know what he did? He said, you know what? I don't necessarily like it. I wish they would give me a nice new contract right now. They're not. So I'm going to play out the final year because you know why? He wasn't paying money in fines and he wasn't missing game checks. Brandon Graham's not missing a game check. I wish Hassan would have just said, you know what? I don't have to like it. I'm not going to talk to the media. Like, whatever, right? Come in and be a pro. Get your sacks. He could have done that in New York with the Jets. Because now he's got no other recourse but to kind of put his tail between his legs and go and report. Yeah, otherwise you're back with the Jets next year. So, final year of a contract, a year older. Just not smart. Not smart by him. However, the hold-ins did work this year, though. Isn't it weird? Well, the hold-in, they're not practicing, but they're there. And they're telling you they're not going to play or practice because it's a contract. And the team lets them get away with it. So Jamar Chase is like, I don't know if I'm going to play or not. Like, what are you talking about? You don't know if you're going to play or not. The NFL is going to do something about this.
I can't stand it. It's just, well, when you were bringing up the contracts of like every other league is guaranteed money, I'm at the point where this isn't my money, so what the hell do I care? Just make all these contracts guaranteed. Like, if you're going to pay these guys all this money, just lop off the fake money and just pay them what the guaranteed salary is and call it a day. I know. I'm at. But like, I don't know. It's the hold-in situations don't make sense to me. Like speaking of someone who had Bengals in Survivor pool this week, it's like Chase probably cost his team week 1 against one of the worst teams in the league. It's like, I don't know. It makes no sense. If you're talking about like, oh, you want to win game, like I get these guys want to get paid, but these guys act like winning's supposed to be the most important thing as well. That it's like you got to toe the line a little bit better than be like, I'm just going to I have an illness until I decide to play someday.
Yeah. All right. Well, Philly Sports probably wants to know where Herb is. He doesn't care about this conversation anymore. I have the answer to that, by the way. Where Herb is.
Hit us.
Herb, well, he's in Rio.
Oh my God, I was about to say, thought you were saying rehab. I'm like, what did he do?
No, he's not rehab. Here he is. He sent me a picture tonight.
He actually went to the game in Brazil?
Yeah.
I thought that was a joke.
No, he really went there. There he is. He took it tonight.
Oh my
he
God.
says, yeah, he was texting me. We were texting back and forth last night. So, because I asked him, like, dude, when you coming back? Like, I gotta get him in on my show on PHLY. And he's there till the 16th, I think. He took a 2-week vacation in Brazil.
Jesus Christ. Good for it. Who can we contact to get them to keep him?
Probably a gangster down there. If you find him on Reddit or something, be like, yeah, he's got a lot of cocaine. Just go to his hotel room and no, we can't do that. But yeah, so Herb's enjoying himself down there. I don't know what, like, I would love to have somebody following Herb around.
We need a live stream of Herb.
We do. We definitely do. I would love to see exactly what he's doing right now. Where
just like an overhead drone, just like just sync to him that just follows him around.
Oh, that's such a great idea. Well, here he is. There's one more time, Herb. Everybody, Herb from Northeast Philly, looking good. Looked like he slimmed up. Like the shirt. Look like he slimmed up for his trip there. No, maybe not. Looks like he's melting in real time. That's so funny. He does look like an ice cream cone. Wah, wah, wah. Come on. Poor Herb.
Oh my God.
Oh, Herbie. Oh man.
Oh, good for Herb. Right. Glad he's having a good time.
Listen, Herb probably lives a better life than I do. He's always vacationing. He's on the West Coast. He's in California.
How many wishy-washes has he been to since he's been in Brazil?
Yes,
under 4.5.
That's what you wonder. You wonder exactly what he's doing. I don't know. I don't know if he's actually going to those establishments. Although he did admit that he'd been to Chinatown in Philadelphia. You have to think that.
I'll take it the over. He's been there for 7 days, 6 days. 7. What day did he get there? He had to have gotten there Thursday
before the game. Yeah. All right. So let's say he got there for Thursday.
He's been there for 7 days, and he's got another 5. Over 4.5 for sure.
Well, AJ wants to talk about Wheeler and not Blob of the Hut. Well, Wheeler was good again tonight. There you go. You have something to say about Wheeler, Zach Wheeler, Delco Steve?
Yeah, what do you have? 9 Ks?
He's good. Yeah, he's good. Zach Wheeler's great.
Gonna come in second in Cy Young again.
Yep, Sales got it wrapped up. Atlanta game 6.5-point favorites. You know that get so I looked. Because you can look at the following week. If you go to the BetParks app, you can look at week 3 lines, which I actually haven't done. But I looked at the week 2 line before they played the Packers, and they were only 4-point favorites. I don't know if we talked about it on here. And I'm like, that's a good bet right now because they're going to beat the Packers, and then that line's going to jump up. So it opened at 6. Now it's at 6.5. I don't even know if it went to 7. So now it gets to 7 because, I mean, this is really you worry about. Is this the typical NFL? We just won the Packers. Everybody watched this on TV. Look at Saquon Barkley. Look at this offense. Oh, we have so much talent. They're reading what everybody's saying about them. The Falcons, meanwhile, sucked and lost to the Bears. And you come home from Brazil. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, Kirk Cousins looked like a statue back there. They couldn't move. I think he had the lowest drop back. Like yards per drop back he had in his career. He was only getting 3 yards off the line of scrimmage or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know. Falcons coming in, or Kirk Cousins coming in the link on a night game is not usually pretty good for him.
Vince is here. He'd rather talk about Herb than the Phillies. We already talked about the Phillies. So he broke it all down. I agree with you, Vince. The Falcons suck. Everybody. Oh, I got Kirk Cousins winning the division. How about this? Buccaneers are good, man. Baker Mayfield's good, and I feel good for him because it looked like that his career was maybe like he becomes a backup quarterback. He goes to Carolina, and they're hoping he's going to solve their quarterback issues. I don't know who you could have brought in at that point that would have solved Carolina, what was going on with them, but it certainly wasn't going to be Baker Mayfield. But he went down
dumpster fire.
Total. Yeah, that's a bad organization. That's a bad owner. But he goes down to Tampa, and guess what? He's playing with a ton of offensive talent. And Todd Bowles, pretty good head coach. And they're a good team. He looked really, really good in what I was watching. So, yeah, Tampa's probably the best team in that division again. We were sleeping on.
They're the longest odds to win the division. Well,
yep. not anymore.
Not counting. No, right now they still are. They're
still
not counting the Panthers. When I looked yesterday, they were plus 230.
So the teams that actually have a chance,
the Panthers weren't even listed.
Yeah, Panthers. By the way, Bryce Young will not have a starting job by year 5.
Year 5?
Yes, he won't be on the. He won't be on the Panthers by year 5, and he won't have a.
He won't be in the NFL by year 5.
He may not.
He'd be lucky at that point.
Well, he may be in the NFL as like someone Andy Reid will be like, all right, come be my backup or whatever. He's still only in year 5. He just doesn't look like an NFL quarterback. He's not fast enough. He's not big enough.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
Falcons plus 155, Saints plus 200, Bucks plus 210, and Panthers plus 2,000.
Yeah. I wouldn't even I'd rather flush $1 down the toilet than bet anything on Carolina.
But hey, if you think the Buccaneers are that good in the division, plus 210, pretty good.
I do.
You already got a 1-up game lead. Well, tied with the Saints, but
yeah. I don't buy the Saints. Sorry, I don't buy Derek Carr.
Congratulations, you dropped 47 points on maybe the worst team in NFL history.
Yep. Oh yeah, no, they're Derek Carr and the Saints are very Cowboys like. You know, the Cowboys beat up on the bad teams, and Dak will like put up a 500 burger against a bad team. That's what
wait till like week 6 when the Saints have a negative point differential and they won the first game by 43.
Right. Yeah.
Or 44, whatever it was.
Saints stink. Mike Missinelli back on the Fanatic. Anybody hear him bitching and moaning about Kelsey yesterday? So did you see the Kelsey using the T word, saying tits on?
I didn't see it live. I just saw
the video like everybody else.
A screenshot of him with his buttons undone. That's it.
Yeah.
But I was just like, that. Does that surprise anybody?
I was surprised that he used the word tits on ESPN in the first 30 seconds of him being on the network. I wasn't expecting to hear that. Like, am I gonna? So we talked about it briefly on Philly with Jon Marks on PHLY, and like, I don't think it's necessary. I don't think he needs to on a pregame show say the word tits. It's like. Will the executive say something to him about it? Maybe, I don't know. But he might get
the Pat McAfee treatment and just be able to say whatever he wants.
ESPN's afraid to tell him anything. You're absolutely right. But Jason's not that kind of a guy. But like, yeah, I don't necessarily know if he.
But they might not. It's not that he's that kind of a guy. They might not want to curb him from being.
Let him go.
Go be yourself. Do what you. Just don't drop any F-bombs. Don't say shit. Don't say bitch.
The thing I worry about with Jason, and it has a lot to do with Travis and Taylor Swift stuff, is like at one point do you become oversaturated with Kelsey? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're watching the games, the Kelsey commercials are on the game, right? You're watching non-games, you're seeing Kelsey commercials, you're seeing Jason commercials. They are all over the place, and they're both good dudes. So it's like I'm happy for them, but exactly. Like at some point, even people that you like. It can turn on you pretty quick. There was just like, all right, like you're chugging beer with your shirt off. Like, all right, enough. I've seen enough of this stuff. I don't know. I don't know where that point is. I don't know if the point's there. He's a really good dude and he's likable. But so Mike did a lot of Tyreek Hill talk, and police talk, and then he was doing he was complaining about Jason Kelsey. So I did hear a lot of that on, what was it, Monday or Tuesday? Not a lot of Eagles talk during those days. So Mike's back.
What did he have to say about Tyreek Hill? Can only imagine.
Police brutality.
That was nuts.
I actually thought that Tyreek Hill spoke today. I don't know if you heard it.
I didn't hear today's. I heard the other one from after the game.
So he took his share of responsibility for it, saying that he could have. He said that I talked to, and I could pull up the video. I just don't feel like it. He said that I've police officers in my family, and I've had a lot of conversations with a lot of people in my family, and he acknowledged that he could have handled the situation different. He could have rolled the window down. He could have been more cooperative. And I was like, you know what? Like, yeah, you could have, and you should have.
I agree with that, but it's just, I feel like nothing brought it to that point where it needed to be escalated.
It's like
that's my issue. More than
a good cop can de-escalate that situation by not doing what he did. But also, like, you could tell he was like, you know what? Get out of the car. No, like, either you're going to listen to what I say, and I'm going to give you a second chance and a third chance to do it. And if you don't do it, get out of the car. You're under arrest. And you know what? Like, we don't know what that cop has been through on his beat. We don't know. Like, he's pulling somebody over. Now, I don't think he was worried about getting shot. I think he knew who was in the car. Maybe he didn't. But everything.
How do you not know?
Everything that happened after he refused to roll the window down was excessive and was ridiculous. Yeah. All of it. And look bad. But damn, Tyreek Hill he should have been more cooperative, or that probably doesn't escalate to that situation. But like, you can't act like that if you're a police officer. Can't.
Agreed.
Just can't. So yeah, so Mike did a lot of that talk. And people seem surprised. I was like, have you not listened to Mike? Like, that's they're
all out of practice listeners.
Trust me. Mike's bored with talking about the Eagles. You don't want to talk about the Eagles. The game was Friday. He don't want to talk about the Eagles on Tuesday. Like, he'll talk about the Eagles, but he's not doing it for 4 hours. It's easy on WIP to come out and talk Eagles for 4 hours a couple days after the game. Right? So, whatever. I'm not surprised that that's what he did right there. What else do we have at Delco Steve? So much has happened here in us. Jerry Jones and the Cowboys signed everybody, which is like,
I don't understand it. It's just, why would you go through the drama all off season to just surpass the number one quarterback salary by what, $6 million or $5 million a year, $6 million a year?
Yep. Yeah. CeeDee Lamb made more money.
Yeah. CeeDee Lamb just got just under Justin Jefferson. You knew that was what he was going to get. Just pay him.
You knew that's what he was going to get. Now you've paid more. Dak Prescott, unless you're saying to yourself, I'm walking away from him, I don't care, then you just pay him. Right? Even if you don't necessarily like that you're paying him, right? Like, if I was an owner, I wouldn't necessarily feel like we're going to win a Super Bowl with Dak Prescott. But unless you're willing to walk away from him, he still gives you a chance. You got to put everything together, but he still gives you a chance. I don't think Dak Prescott's winning a Super Bowl, but it's a no-brainer unless you're willing to walk away and you have another plan, which, you know what? Jerry obviously didn't. And then Micah Parsons is going to make $40-50 million a year.
Oh, he's going to top. He's going to probably top the wide receiver. Is what Jefferson got the highest non-quarterback deal. He's probably going to come close to that.
If Dak's making 60, and you know what Jerry's going to do? He's going to draw this whole thing out. So I had Jeff Kavanaugh on today. He used to do sports radio in Dallas like me. He's probably the biggest sports media member down there in Dallas. And he went digital like me. So he's at our sister network in Dallas that just launched a couple weeks ago doing a Cowboys show. And I had him on today, and I said, why does he do it? Is it because he likes now everything's about him and he gets to comment about it and he gets asked about it and I feel good about the contract and he draws it out? And he's like, yeah, probably that's a part of it, right? Like, it has to always be about Jerry. And if he's negotiating contracts and saying, CD, we're working on it, like, it's just dumb. Every other smart franchise in the league would have paid these guys by now. Like, look at the Bengals. Bengals are a terrible organization, and Jamar Chase isn't signed. Dumb. Why aren't you signing him? Shouldn't the market's already been set?
Even after the owner came out and said we're going to give him whatever he wants, you put yourself in a bind,
and then you don't give him whatever he wants.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable. It really
They're
is.
terrible.
No, they're terrible. So it's like you're going to do the same thing with Micah Parsons. You're going to end up paying him $50 million at the end of the whole thing. But then Jerry's going to get to talk about it, and it's going to be in the offseason. He's going to be mad about it. Now he doesn't report the training camp. It's all good things for being Eagles fans because it takes away from the only thing that really matters is like getting your players there and getting ready to, try to win.
Because like you think about it, I know this was the first year that Micah could have been signed, but like you sign him now before the next edge rusher gets paid. You save yourself probably $10 million and whatever that cap hit is. It's
yeah. And Parsons, a lot of people are saying Parsons to the Eagles or whatever. Hey, he's going to be a Cowboy. He's not going to the Eagles. And I'm not trying to say that he's not, but what's he really doing? Every other GM in the league can do it. Howie Roseman's doing it. It's not a trick, and no one knows like how does he do that? I could freaking do it if I was the GM.
I love when you say that. It makes me so happy that it's just like there's another sane human being out there.
Yeah, like what is he doing? And I'm not telling you how he doesn't make good moves and he doesn't know value and things like that.
Agreed.
But anybody can sign Landon Dickerson and backload the contract and giving him upfront money and then just redo the contract in 2 years. He's not doing anything different than any other team could. The owner has to spend the upfront money for him to do it. And Jeffrey Lurie spends a ton of money.
Jeffrey Lurie isn't worried about his player. Like if Howie tells him he's a core guy and he's an important part of the roster, or Jeffrey's going to pay the money for it. Like Hassan Reddick didn't get that because he obviously wasn't considered a primary part of this roster.
Yeah, Micah Parsons he's not going to leave the Cowboys, and the Eagles are going to pay him $45 million.
Isn't he wasn't he a Cowboys fan from
from Harrisburg?
Yeah.
Yeah, he can stay in Dallas.
Yep.
Parsons, you're a great player. Whatever. I like watching you play.
Fantastic.
Went to Penn State.
Also love to hate him, so it's fine.
Yeah, but go keep coming to Sixers games and wishing you were an athlete in Philadelphia. We know you want to be an athlete in Philadelphia. So, whatever. All right, you see the Shannon Sharp story from today?
No. What are you doing?
So, apparently, he's Instagram living, and he's banging some chick.
Oh boy!
And there's sound to it, and I'm not going to play it. I know it's out there. I don't even want to hear it. It's out there, but apparently he says that I'm reading from an iHeart article here. It says the woman appears to refer to the man as Shannon during the encounter. A man is heard saying, "Let me put this D in you. You know what I like." And that's my Michelle. It was in a voice resembling Sharp, according to the author of the article. And it was on his Instagram Live. Now, what do you think his response was?
Shannon Sharp's response was?
Yeah.
That was
Hacked. He said that where is it? He's
just own it at that point.
He broke his silence and he said, "Beware, my Instagram was hacked this morning. My team and I are working vigorously to figure this out."
Yeah, how did I accidentally click the live button while I was, about to do my thing?
He's on Instagram. He's looking through. He probably met this chick on Instagram too, but he's like, whatever. And then all of a sudden, the button gets hit without him knowing it, and the phone was face down, so you couldn't hear it, you couldn't see it. I think you just heard it. And so he's taking down some chick. So it's all right. He's not married. I don't know if he has a girlfriend. I was actually Googling to see. He may have a girl, but he's not married. So whatever. Let's see. It's unfortunate.
Oh,
but yeah, there was.
That's a terrible mistake to make. That one you don't come back from.
It's like a modern day butt dial going on Instagram Live without knowing it.
I mean, the butt dial while you're having sex it's pretty bad in and of itself.
Well, I mean, some people out there might have heard the audio. I heard that it's if you search it on Twitter, just Google it, you can find the audio. Someone grabbed it before he deleted it. But I don't necessarily know if I need to hear it. Oh my God.
I'll check it out later. I'll get a good laugh out of it.
Oh, Antonio, or sorry, saw somebody was saying something
Yeah.
about Antonio Brown. Said that he was gay. Shannon Sharp. Antonio Brown's one of the biggest losers ever.
100%.
Mm,
Ever,
unbelievable.
he should be able to sue Vontez Burfict for scrambling his brains.
Yeah, I think you'd be well. That has to contribute to some of his behavior, but something's telling me
He
was
went
off
off the
before.
hand. But yeah, but he went really off the handle after he took that hit to the head.
Sure did. Yeah, and all the other hits he accumulated during his career. What else did I have here? Oh, Bucks County man Delco Steve has been charged with drugging and sexually assaulting women he met on a dating site. Andrew Gallo, he was on a site.
Oh, come on.
You know him?
No relation. No relation.
He was on the website Sugar Daddy Meat. He would invite women to his home, offer them alcohol, and he laced it with illegal drugs. It's terrible. That is absolutely and a sugar daddy website. God, man. I had a friend that was young and innocent and not realizing that people could easily take advantage of her. And yeah, so you like trusted everybody and was very friendly. And she went out one night and like lost track of her friends or whatever, and ended up getting drugged by some dude and got raped. She didn't remember or whatever, but I guess if you're a woman, you know, and it's scary. It's better than I got $3. It's scary because she thinks she's just like out at the bar with her friends, and then you get separated, and then like, hey, let me buy you a drink, and they roofie you.
Yeah,
oh man,
people are fucking nuts, dude.
Unbelievable! What a fucking sicko, man. Like, just put him in. He's gonna have fun in prison. This motherfucker. $5 million bail.
Yeah.
No, well, so no relation. I was just checking.
No relation. No relation whatsoever.
All right. What else?
Doing gal is wrong.
All right. So, give me a prediction on the game on Monday night. Eagles and Falcons.
I might be there. Not positive yet. Might be at that game too.
Really?
Nice Philly sports weekend for me, possibly. I'm gonna say Kirk Cousins shits his pants again in Lincoln Financial Field when the lights come on. So
you like the cover?
I like the cover. I think like 27-10.
27-10. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you
17.
saw early turnovers. Here's the one thing I worry about: not being able to get to him. The last thing you want is to give Kirk Cousins time. Not that like you're like, ooh, Kirk Cousins has time, but if you can pressure him, it's Dunsky.
Right. That's what I'm factoring. That's what I'm thinking of, that they're going to be able to get to him. But you're 100% right. If the Falcons have a good offensive line, so if our edges can't get there, and Carter's playing, 75% of snaps already, it's the D tackle's got to step their game up for sure. But if he's just able to stand back there and pick it apart, they got some good weapons.
They do. Bijan running right down their throat. Yeah, just looking in this website right here, like a story that was written today. Jason Kelce had Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift dying laughing during Monday night countdown debut. I guess they talked about it on their podcast today. Oh, we were watching you, Jason. Well, Taylor Swift made him $100 million. Travis Kelce. Their relationship. It's unbelievable.
Do you think it's fake? Did you see the PR story?
I wouldn't dismiss it. I don't think you can. You don't think that there's some type of a contractual arrangement, like with some? I'm not even gonna say a prenup, like something.
I don't know. I just thought it was weird that they had if that was a breakup plan scheduled. That's
yeah, like it's totally fake, and like you would feel like Travis Kelce, he'd be done if that was found out that was true. Yeah. He'd be done.
Yep.
And Taylor would just like lie and be like, "It was his fault," and people would be like, "Yeah, Travis."
I'm gonna write a new album talking about how he sucks.
I didn't know about this. Yay, Taylor, go! I found out recently a friend has entered a marriage with a prenup, and it was because his family came from like I'm not extreme wealth, but like they had a lot of they had like
Assets.
properties. Yes, assets. That's the word I'm looking for. And so he says like, well, what happens 10 years down the line if she decides it doesn't work out and all of a sudden like these assets that have been in my family, like now they're, get taken. And I was like,
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine being like, hey, honey, I'm by the way, here's this contract right here. And it's just a prenup, nothing big, just a prenup. I don't know, like that was wild. I was like, but then the more you think about it, you're like, yeah, that's fair. Right? Like it's not something you've accumulated during your marriage or whatever.
Correct.
I never thought of it from that perspective. I'm like, oh, let's talk. The conversation I can't imagine.
I would like to have that problem one day in life.
Oh man. All right. Go Birds, Delco Steve. So listen, if I need lots of if you go to the Eagles game on Monday night, I need your Instagram story to be hot with pictures and everything else. All right.
I could do that.
How you ended up? Are you just like looking at tickets and you're gonna scoop some up, or you have a?
No, Eric has got season tickets, and we're trying to figure out if I'm going or not. So, I am not pushing. Like I'm not trying to push other people out of their spots. If I get invited, great, I'm in. If not, no big deal. I'll be sitting on my couch watching like everybody else.
All right.
So we'll see. We'll see.
All right. Well, good luck, everybody. Have a good one. Remember, I'm on PHLY every Monday through Friday, 8:00. The good part is, Delco Steve, you can watch whenever you want. So if you go to my Instagram or my Twitter page, Jon Marks Media, JONMARK as media. There's like a link that has everything right there, and you can easily click on the podcast because you can listen to the podcast too. You don't have to watch the video on YouTube. I've gotten a lot of podcast traction too. So you can listen to the podcast. It's posted every day at 9:00, and then you can watch on YouTube whenever you want to. And you click on that link right there. So I've got a couple 5-star reviews on it already. I saw, which I was happy about.
There you go.
Yeah,
rate, review, subscribe.
But some dick, and this is on the podcast, some dick will give me the 1 star and it'll totally bring
and it fucks it up.
Yeah, no, I know it's gonna happen. And now that I said it, someone's gonna do it on purpose. No, only 5-star reviews.
Be nice, people.
Be nice to me, man, and I'll be nice to you. All right, Delco Steve.
Peace.
Talk to you.